Hey guys, so today I want to talk about audio. What if I was to tell you I have one transmitter and two receivers just in this hand? Audio has moved so fast as far as technology goes, so let's get into it. So Mirfak sent me these audio units basically to test out. Now, they didn't pay me for this, but they did send it to me, so I am gonna do an honest review, the best of my ability. I did get a chance to spend time with these over the last 2 weeks. We're gonna do a couple of tests, and we're gonna talk about traditional audio units, how this differentiates, who is this for, and is it even worth getting? So again, thank you Mirfak for sending these. Again, you get two receivers, one transmitter. What makes this a little bit of a differentiator is this. You can do it right in camera and hook it up to your camera, traditionally, have the receiver for you or for somebody else as well. Or you can do it straight from the actual transmitter. And then what you can do is you can record two micro SDs on these receivers, which is really, really cool because you'll have a backup that way, which is really nice to have. So I think in that sense, that's a great thing. So, over the years, I have to tell you, audio has become such a kind of scary thing for me, especially going back to the beginnings. Anytime I had a job where I had to basically, shoot anything with audio, interviews, whatever, I would always panic and get cold sweats because I knew something can go wrong. Now, I didn't have a boom and lavs. I had either lavs at the time, and then I got into boom mics. Traditionally now, what I do is always have a boom and some lav mics as a backup, whether I'm using the lavs as the first or the boom as the backup or vice versa. But this will keep me in case something happens, if there's some technical issues. Depending on the town that you're working with, people have patience, but it goes so far. So you can't keep cutting because audio is having technical issues. You got to keep rolling. I had one situation where I worked with actually a decent sized brand, and the audio was completely messed up. It was completely my fault. I was doing too many things. I had two cameras rolling, focusing on everything. There were all these other issues, and audio became kind of secondary. Now, you know that lighting and audio plays such a huge part in production and bringing that value. You can have a low-end camera and great audio, and you can get away with it. You can't really do that with crappy audio, let's be honest. So, these have to kind of at least do a good or decent job in order for you to use these on a paid project. You don't want mess ups, you don't want any of that. So, looking at these units and how small they are, now, this is really like kind of, nuts to see something this small. I traditionally came from, using these Sennheiser G2s, and these were like amazing and revolutionary at the time. I still use them till today. I use them on the Ursa, and that's pretty much how I have it hooked up. So XLR, I've got this, and usually we have a boom, which is our first mic, and this is our backup here. So, traditionally you have this, you have your lav, hook it up, and you're good to go. I've used these, I feel comfortable using them, but things fast forward, we're shooting on smaller cameras, different situations. I need something that's gonna give me great audio. So the good thing about the FX3, and it came with this audio unit, I have to say the preamps on this camera is great compared to the A7 III, which I'm shooting on right now. So I'm not really worried about audio here. So if I wired or did a lav into here, I really wouldn't be worried. So I think I'm somewhat set here, but I still need a lav system to back it up and use this as scratch audio or use a boom mic and this and having the lav as a backup. So you got three kind of safety nets. So this is the world that I'm sure you've come from as well, and you've had challenges with it. Some people have a knack for audio, and I'm super impressed with great sound guys and sound gals. They do such a good job on production, and honestly, I can sleep at night knowing I've got a great sound person on a production. But that's not always the case, so I really have to rely on these particular tools. So again, just to reiterate, what's special about these is A, the size, how light they are, and the fact that you can make them basically work on their own, having the SDs that you can put as a safeguard, which is really nice. And not have to do it in camera if your preamps are not great in the camera. You can use these to record audio and obviously sync it to some sort of scratch audio from the camera. That is a really nice kind of benefit. The other benefit is if I don't want to connect let's say my lab, right? And it's kind of run and gun and I'm out there and I've just got to do a quick vlog. You can just obviously clip this onto your shirt. It's got a pickup mic right up top. So you've got a lot of benefits with these little receiver transmitter situation kit here. So Mirfak, I think, did a good job with the design. Really simplistic, not so much going on here that you can kind of screw this up. Out of the box, the sound felt a little bassy, a little heavy. Not that one filter in Premiere or Final Cut couldn't fix. So that was fairly easy, but let's test the audio in 3 different scenarios. One connected to the camera, one not connected to the camera, and then we'll use these micro SDs and see if that backup works and have no issues. As far as runtime goes, these have been pretty much running since I got them. I charged them once, so I think for a day shoot you'll be pretty safe. So these are pretty simple as they are here. So you've got a button here that you can click on record. You've got your SD. These are powered by USB-C. You can pretty much power these or charge them, which is really nice. So, you know, we all have a ton of USB-C cables by now, but they do come with them and it's like a 3-prong, which is really nice. So you can charge everything at once. Again, you can put your SD in here and record directly into the receiver. You know, you've got your on button. You've got a charging light and a recording light just to let you know what's what. You could plug in, you know, headphones as a monitor. The other plus too is you could use this for a smartphone. It does use the 3.5 jack, so if you have some of the newer iPhones, you have to get that adapter to support the 3.5. But that's kind of cool too. You can take your phone and use that and have great audio with these. So let's get into the quality. Let's listen to what the audio actually sounds like out of these. Okay, so we're back. Now this is independently being recorded from the transmitter into the receiver. Put an SD, micro SD in here, and you do have the signal saying it's recording at the moment, and it does record into, well, a record folder, which is a .wav file. I had a little bit of trouble. The thing is this does not come with a micro SD. I don't know if you're familiar, if you have a GoPro or a drone and using micro SDs, this has to be formatted a certain way. So there's MS-DOS, which is what this uses, not the exFAT. So it was kind of a problem trying to get this thing to format the way that I wanted to. Finally, I got it to format. It would be really nice if they actually included even a small micro SD in here. Would be really nice. This way you don't have to kind of futz around and maybe get the wrong card and have an issue having that. Again, you're gonna have to sync this in. I recommend using the scratch audio and then syncing it together, whether you're doing it in Premiere or using Pluralize or whatever it is that you use to sync audio with. On the receiver, it actually shows you when you are recording. There is a little toggle switch in the back that says record and stop. Most of the time when you're not using the SD, it's on stop, and to hit record, you just flick it on. You get a light that indicates that it does, that it is recording. And again, this is independent from the camera. I'm just wondering what it sounds like. Now we're gonna try it with this mic without the lav. So here we go. This is going now directly into the SD card, no lav, just this mic, handheld. Not sure what this is gonna sound like, but we'll see. You know, would I use this on a large production? Maybe as a backup. I'm not sure I would use this honestly on a large production. Would I use it for an interview if I was just, you know, by myself? Again, it's all gonna have to do with the audio quality and if it's good enough. You know, these are things that you kind of don't want to mess around with. If you're vlogging, I would say these are perfect. So if you're starting out in audio, have never done anything with lav mics, and you want to have that freedom, I think these are going to be great. And I think if you're doing multiple little interviews or maybe street interviews, this is going to be great. It's an easy setup. Again, I have to play around with the audio to see if this is something that I would use on a paid project, maybe a smaller one for sure. It's targeted more to a kind of prosumer market, you know, mirrorless, smaller camera, vloggers, things like that. You know, I don't see any kind of, you know, professionals using this on a, you know, on a big commercial or anything like that. But I think for everyday use, vlogging again, basic things like that, maybe a smaller budget interview. I would test these out a little bit prior, but again, I'm gonna see how they sound like, what we can do to make them sound better, and I think for the price, they're actually a good buy. There are a few companies that are doing similar things as this. Again, this is market is getting pretty crowded, so everybody's kind of putting it in there. I mean, these guys were nothing but nice. They sent this. Again, communication when people are sending stuff is really important, so I appreciate that they sent that. I don't want to forget to tell you what was kind of included in the box, just so you know. You've got the transmitter, you've got the 2 receivers, you are getting the lav mic hookup here with the wire. You get 2 of these because you've got the two receivers. You get a nice little storage case. You do get the charging cables, and they're USB-C. You do get a camera cable. You get a phone cable, so you can hook it up to your phone if you have a 3.5. If not, you can get an extension. Again, this would be nice. Maybe you take it on the go, get good audio, even if you're using your phone, whether it's for any sort of like social media stuff, or if you're just using your phone as something you're vlogging with. It's not a bad idea. So they do have a little bit of a dead cat here that you can put obviously on top. This would be nice outdoors if you use this. It's obviously going to help you with the wind. But again, I think these will do just fine, just for basic interviews, vlogging, things like that. I'd love to test these a little bit more. But again, I think for the value, they're a decent little piece of audio gear. The fact that you're having 2 of these receivers and a transmitter, and you don't have access to a boom mic, and you just need one, and you want to have the backup, and you want to be able to obviously record an SD or even have as a backup, it's not a bad idea. So having a backup system, I would say 100%, even on a production, if you need to have some pickups in case something goes wrong, I think they'll do the trick. Again, I would want to test these a little bit more. Overall, I think the build quality itself is pretty good. You've got some options here on what you can do. You can control the levels. There's a few little options here. It's very simple to use beyond the SD situation, which I suggest they even put one in that's like an 8 gigabyte, something small. So thanks again for watching, guys. Please follow, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.